Hello, and welcome back to my amazing channel where I do lots of wacky challenges. Today, however, I've decided to just do a normal playthrough of my favourite Pokémon game, that being Pokémon H version. It's honestly an underrated gem, and not many people have had the chance to experience it, so I thought I'd do a run of it to celebrate the 29th anniversary of the Pokémon series. A lot of people, for some odd reason, complained about this game being too difficult to understand and a garbled mess of letters that make no sense. Personally, I have no idea what they're on about. It's a solid game and not enough people give it the credit it deserves. With all that said, let's get right into it. This is the main protagonist of H, known as HHH, though I decided I'd instead nickname him HHHH. It represents me more. The rival's canon name is HHHH, but I named him HHHH instead, since I think it has a nicer ring to it. The naming was done, and now it was time to play the game. It's odd that people complain about this game and yet forget about the quality of life change of increasing the player's speed drastically. I of course started the game as always by withdrawing the free HHHHH from the PC, which may come in handy later. After that, I headed out of my house towards HHHHH, but HHH stopped me and brought me to his lab. I was still trying to make my decision as to which Pokémon I should choose. I was thinking of going for HHHHHHHHHH, but even though it gains the secondary HHHHHH type when it fully evolves, the first gym is pretty difficult when using it. The second option was HHHHHHHH, solid for the first gym, though later on I was planning on getting HHHHHHH, which learns HHHH. The main appeal of this stuff. Oh, this video is so stupid. And here was my favourite of the three, HHHHHHHH. The dual HHHHH and HHHHH typing was not great, but I decided I'd go for it anyway. I don't normally nickname Pokémon, but I called it HHHHH as that name really spoke to me. And of course my rival chose HHHHHHHH and then we had a battle. Even though his starter didn't have any HHHH type moves, he had the advantage of it knowing HHHHHH, which can't miss normally, while my HHHHH has HH% accuracy. It didn't help that it used HHHHH at the very beginning, lowering my HHHHH stat by one stage for the rest of the battle. I just had to go for it, however, spamming HHHHH and hoping he'd not get any critical hits, which actually happened twice. It's never a good sign when you struggle with the first rival battle, although it was purely down to luck. HHHHHHH's HH actually got so bad that I had to use the HHHHH from the PC earlier, bringing it back up to full. Good decision, as it meant I won. That win meant HHHHH reached level H. With that win, I then headed into HHHHH, picking up another HHHHH from this guy and entered the grass to win a few battles. This area only contains HHHHH and HHHHH. They can be any level from H to H. This one was level H, but just kept using HHHHH without tacking much, and I got a few KOs before entering the next area. I reached HHHHHHH, annoyed by the fact that HHH doesn't give you any HHHHHHs straight away, as more Pokemon would have helped. I headed to the Pokemart to pick up HHHHHHH and brought it back to HHH. This resulted in me getting the HHHHHHH. West of HHHHHHH, I entered HHHHHH as I wanted to see if I could take on HHHH with one Pokemon. I lost to HHHH as having one Pokemon just wasn't going to cut it. I grinded for a while and entered the mart again to buy some HHHHHHs. For some reason, I wasn't quite sure how many I was buying, no idea why, but I bought roughly 8 of them. Well, I thought I did, but it turned out I didn't have enough money due to losing that fight earlier, seeing as my only item was HHHHH. I went north into HHHHH, grinded for a bit in the grass, and then to get more money, entered HHHHHHHHHHH to beat all of the HHHHHHHs. There were quite a lot of them. The experience wasn't great since they were low-level HHH types, but I got a decent amount of money. HHHHHHH learned HHHHHHH as well, which would help with the next gym. After massacring everything in there, I entered the next city, HHHHHHH. I entered the shop, now with enough money to buy some HHHHHHHs. Before doing any catching, however, I wanted to take on the gym. I faced off against the first leader, HHHHH. He led with HHHHHH, easily taken down by HHHHHHH. And then came HHHH, which also met the same fate. The first gym, being HHHH type, meant that choosing HHHHHH truly is easy mode. I got the HHHHHH, and also HHHHHH evolved in HHHHHH. I also got HHHH, which teaches HHHH. Not particularly useful, however. In the next area, HHHHH, I battled all the trainers again. After that, I went back into HHHHHH, as I wanted HHHHHH. It only has a 5% chance of appearing, but its unique typing for this stage of the game is useful, along with having HHHHHH for paralysis. It took me a while, but eventually I found it. I weakened it a bit, threw an HHHH, and got my first proper capture. I named it HHHHHH. With a Pokemon on my side that could use HHHHHH, I knew that once I got it trained up, I could have a real powerhouse on my team. This, combined with also catching an HHHHHH male, meant it would truly be at an advantage. Everyone knows that once this fully evolves into HHHHHH, it can practically solo the whole game. I named it HHHHHH male, and I was pretty happy with my team of 3. Even unevolved, its HHHHHH was still pretty strong, and I decided to just progress further towards HHHHH. Before getting there, however, it evolved into HHHHHH. I healed up and entered HHHHH. There is of course an overwhelming amount of HHHHH in this cave, which I couldn't really do much about, so I had to run from most wild battles, only knocking out HHHHH, as that was an easy win by using HHHHHH. I was trying to find an HHHHHH, which I had forgotten the location of. I found an HHHHHH, stupidly using it because, well, I guess I forgot how to read. Wait, what's that? Ah, whatever. I did eventually pick up the missing HHHHHH, using it on HHHHHH to evolve into HHHHHH, and I had my unstoppable killing machine sorted for the rest of the run. I got to the end of HHHHH and chose the HHHHHH, though I still hadn't decided if I'd be using HHHHH or not at this point. I reached HHHHHH, going north to face my rival. HHHHHH being on my team made him go down a lot easier than before. I beat all the trainers on the bridge, got an HHHHH which I could sell later, also winning this fight and heading to the gym next. I took on HHHHH, who was easy due to me having both an HHHHH and an HHHHHH type. After the win I got the HHHHH, and then I fought my way through the rest of the trainers in HHHHH. At one point, HHHHHH reached level HH, learning HHHHH, which is amazing to have this early on in the game. I then reached HHHHHH, where I met HHHH. After helping him, I got the HHHHHH. After heading south through the HHHHHH, I found more trainers and reached HHHHHH. I spoke to the chairman of the HHHHHH and got the HHHHHH. I immediately headed back to HHHHHH to get an HHHHHH after hopping on the HHHHHH, however, I realised that in this version of the game, your walking speed and cycling speed are actually the same, rendering it obsolete. So I stuck it in storage forever. At the docks in HHHHHH, I was able to enter the HHHHH. Before reaching the captain, I have to fight my rival again. After the win, I got the HHHH from the captain, which teaches HHH. Even though it's not a great idea, I did decide I'd just give it to HHHHH. However, I made a fatal error. I was too impatient and just mashing the A button, and overwrote HHHHHH, which was his only stab move. I hadn't saved in a while, so reloading wasn't an option. I just decided I'd go ahead and live with the consequences. Plus, once it reached level HH, it'd be able to learn HHHHHH anyway, so I thought I'd just put up for it for a few more levels. Back on land, I used HHH to cut down the tree in front of the gym, and went inside to complete the bin puzzle. He took on HH and his HH types were rendered useless thanks to HH's typing. Beating him resulted in me getting the HHH. Having HHH meant I could head east of HHH into HHH, fighting my way through all the trainers to ultimately reach HHH. Unfortunately, I never bothered to pick up the HH for HHH. I thought I could navigate this place blind, but I was sorely mistaken. I did it anyway. I won't leave in the 30 minutes or so of constantly getting lost and getting KO'd by Pokemon who kept KOing themselves using HHH. I eventually made it out alive, reached HHH, and decided I'd just continue to do all the gyms in the intended order, with HHH being next. So I just made my way west, beating all the trainers as per usual. I went through the HHH and reached HHH. I went west to the secret house to get the HH for HHH. However, yet again, my bag was full. Not sure why, but I didn't realise that at the time. I must have a headache or blurry vision, but I thought that I had to progress further to get this HH, instead of realising that my bag was full. For now, I entered the HHH to find this member of HHH in order to unlock the secret entrance to the HHH. I did eventually realise that my bag was full, so I got to HHH and entered the HHH. I'm just going to mention something important for a sec. Due to the high movement speed of the character, the tiles on the floor of this place create a horrible flashy effect that is really bad for photosensitive people, which happens to include myself, so I'm just going to skip straight to the HHH events that occurred. I won this battle to get the HHH and got to the end to face the HHH boss, HHH. Thankfully I was well prepared for this fight, and she was no match for my HHH, which kept spamming HHH. After I won, he left behind the HHH. I entered the HHH to buy an HHH. I used this on HHH to evolve into HHH. I went to the roof to buy an HHH. I brought this to one of the HHH guards and was able to pass through. I decided to leave this place for later, however. I headed back down south and went through HHH to reach the earlier areas to catch an HHH. Not sure why I decided to go all the way back here for one, but I just needed something that could learn HHH. I nicknamed it H, gave it HHH, and flew back to HHH. I entered the HHH in my hand, and beating HHH again, I was able to identify the spooky HHHs and made my way past all the trainers. Since they all used HHH and HHH, their typing being HHH and HHH, it was a terrible matchup for me. I reached the end, entering a battle with HHH, which actually turned out to be HHH. After knocking it out and making my way to the very top, I spoke to HHH and went back to his house to get the HHH. I went south into HHH, fighting the HHH along the way. I played the HHH for the sleeping HHH, and as we all know, this starts a fight with it. I was debating whether or not I should actually catch it, but I eventually decided that yes, I would. So I did. I gave it a fitting name of HHH! And moved on. Well, I was going to go straight south to get the HHs for HHH and HHH, but first wanted to get another gym out of the way, so I headed back to HHH to take on HHH. I also fought another one of these things. After winning a few battles, a long last HHH evolved into HHH. I took on HHH. She would have been much easier if I had an HHH type, though my HHH using HHH works pretty well on her as well, especially due to its HHH type, meaning it couldn't get poisoned. I won and got the HHH. I actually did go south of the HHH this time, reaching HHH. I went straight to the gym as I wanted to be able to use HHH outside of battle as soon as I got the HH for it. HHH was another who would wall me with his types if it weren't for me yet again spamming HHH. This honestly is the cheesiest method to get through the game, especially since HHH types are the only ones who resist it. But I would of course be giving HHHHHHHHHH after this battle, which is super effective. It doesn't affect HHHHH types, but there are almost none of them anyway. After winning that battle, I got the HHHHHHHH and entered the HHHHHHHH. I got to the end, finding the HHHHHHH, and entered the cabin to get HHHH, which of course teaches HHHH. I handed in the HHHHHH to the warden and got the HH for HHHHHHH. I gave this and HHHH to HHHHHH, giving me the means to beat the rest of the game. With the means to swim, thanks to HHHH, I went south of HHHHH to reach HHHHHH. I then entered the HHHHHH, which is also horrible for people with broken eyes. So basically, I found HHHHHH and left. I went to the mart to sell items I didn't need, so that I could then buy lots of high healing items, such as HHHHHHHHHHs. I entered the gym, getting all the questions right. I mean, this is easy. I reached HHHHH, and because HHHHHH had HHH, I destroyed his whole team. Easy 6 to gym. Usually I do this on 7th, but I decided I'd leave HHHHHH for later. I got the HHHHHH and headed back to HHHHHH. HHHHHH also has a horrible checkered pattern on the floor, so to not kill any of my fans or myself, I reached HHHHHH, beat him and got the HHHHHH for my troubles. And of course, got rid of the HHHHHH presents, allowing me to enter the gym. The battle against HHHHHH was pretty easy despite my team having a huge type disadvantage, with both HHHHHH and HHHHHH being weak to HHHHHH. As always, HHHHHH came to the rescue. After winning, I got the HHHHHH and was able to take on the last gym, which happens to be an HHHHHH. I reached HHHHHH, who had just beaten a few minutes ago, and after beating him again, I got the 8th badge, and that was actually the final one. The HHHHHH. I re-entered HHHHHH to get HHHH, which teaches HHHHHH. I gave this to HHHHHH, complete its movesets, and then I was ready to take on the league. Well, after beating HHHH once again. I headed to a mart to buy lots of HHHHHHs because I couldn't be bothered dealing with random encounters in HHHHHHHHH. I made my way past all the checks and reached HHHHHHHH. I did all the boulder puzzles requiring HHHHHH, beat all the trainers for sweet experience and reached the HHHHHHHH. Because I knew I'd need them, I bought a bunch of HHHHHHHHs and HHHHHHs. I also wanted to fill out my team with something good, so I went back into the cave to catch HHHHHH. I just used HHHHHH because I wasn't planning on catching anything else anyway. I named it H and made my way back to the league. I entered the first chamber to take on HHHHHH and her team of HHH types. I won't fully commentate each battle, but they were much harder than anything I had to do so far, with HHHHHH being actually the hardest out of the HHHHHH. HHHHHHH was HHHHHH's best move here. Unfortunately, it only has HHHH, which wasn't enough for everyone. And even though I just caught HHHHHH, its only HHHH move was HHHHHH, which does pitiful damage. Plus, most of HHHHHH's Pokémon are actually HHHHH type anyway. Forgot to mention earlier, but I gave HHHHH to HHHHHH, which was able to finish off multiple team members. And with that, 1 down, 4 to go. HHHHH was incredibly easy. I just kept using HHHH and knocked out all of his Pokémon without any issues. HHHHH also wasn't that hard either. HHHHHH was pulling his weight once again, with HHHHHH being super effective on 3 of her Pokémon and HHHH taking out the rest. I knew that the next one wasn't going to be so easy though. HHHHH was up next, the 4th of the HHHHH. He had HHHHH types. Well, his HHHHH was his lead and was a big problem, especially for HHHHH, with none of its moves being particularly useful. However, after trial and error and a few wipeouts, I got lucky with its moves missing, and I knocked it out using HHHHHH's HHHHHHH. His HHHHHHH was actually pretty easy due to his missing and I managed to pull off an HHHHHHHH and HHHHH combo, taking it down. His last three, which were two HHHHHHHH and an HHHHHHH, were, despite being very tanky and high leveled, very easy since the AI kept using HHHHHH and HHHHHH, as it thought it should use an HHHHH type because of my HHHHHH being weak to it. And with that, one more battle to go. I also restored the HH for a few of HHHHHH's moves, and was ready to finish this. The champion, HHHH, was another who I had to use trial and error for a few times. However, again, after getting a lucky streak with misses on his end, I had HHHHHHH yet again, set up HHHHH, HHHH and HHHH, and slowly but surely, with many HHHHHHHHHs used, I won. I was inducted into the HHHHHHHH and had my incredible team registered as champions. And we have HHHHH, the HHHHHHH. HHHHH male, the HHHHHHH. HHHHHHH, the HHHHHH. H, the HHHHHH. HHHHHH, exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark, the HHHHHH. And finally, H, question mark, 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 the HHHHHH. And my character, HHHH, with a time of HH hours and HH minutes and HHHHH Pokédollars to my name, became champion of the HHHHH region. Thanks for watching. I had a great time playing this, first time in many years. I'm hoping that H gets more positive attention after this. As I said at the start, it's an underrated gem, and everyone should play through it and enjoy it to the fullest. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe, and I shall see you all in the next HHHHHH video. You know what? I loved it so much, I'm going to play it again. What the hell is a Bulbasaur?